Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Scotty the Trucker coming to you from Dunmore, Pennsylvania. And no, I'm not in the truck. I'm in a sleep-in, which I'm either on vacation, Dunmore, Pennsylvania, probably not, or I'm near a freightliner, and that's where I am. I'm very close to a freightliner, walking distance down the street. We'll get into that. Not all in all the worst thing in the world. But anyway, let me see. Quick updates. First and foremost, a good thing. Who knows where my career is going to go in this trucking thing. I expect it to go for many years. Hopefully with Prime. So far, so good. I may or may not ever get to that million-mile man mark, but I have, as of about a week ago, gotten past my 100,000-mile man mark. So hooray for me. I thought I might, I've got several ideas for some upcoming videos, and depending on how it goes at Freightliner, if I'm here multiple days, I might just bang a bunch out. We'll see. But I do have, 5 or 6 things that have happened along the way. Good and bad, nothing, normal stuff. But some videos in the hopper that hopefully I can start cranking out a little more often. But a little update about, and what I was saying was the 100,000 mile mark. I thought I would do a separate video and just kind of empty my phone of pictures and things like that over the past, year and a half of my trucking career. Just, people I've met, a few scenic shots, maybe a video or two, I don't know. But we'll see. I thought it might be a good time to commemorate that and just kind of put that out there. So that might be a separate video. I was also at a pretty cool Petro, 4 or 5 days ago. Took some video of that. It wasn't one of the world's largest or anything like that, just a really nice one that I took some video, and I thought I might enjoy that as a separate video. All right, updates. Last time I was with you was Springfield. I just got my new truck. All in all, I actually am pretty pleased. Yes, I'm at a Freightliner, but I'll explain. But for the most part, the truck in almost every way is better than my last truck. It just, if it makes any sense, it runs a little tighter, if that makes sense. Less play in the steering wheel. There's my mirror. I had a jiggle in my mirror, my driver's side mirror. This one does not. What else? Just a smoother ride in general. I got better headlights on this one. I got the bright, LEDs, I guess they call them. Game changer for me. This may not seem like a big issue for anybody else. Most people have them. My last truck did not have the dash curtains, which may not seem like a big deal, but it really is. And not only that, the curtain that it did have for the bunk and the window coverings, they were all really the cheaper kind. They were almost see-through. You could see light through them. This new truck has the dash curtains. It has of course the bunk curtain and all the window coverings, and they're all the super thick kind, so much better. I can tell already as far as AC and heat getting in and out and that kind of thing. It's a lot more efficient temperature wise, so thrilled with that. Not only that, when you don't have the front curtain and you're sitting up front at a truck stop, the kiss of death is when you lock eyes on a homeless person, or God forbid a lot lizard, or not that I've seen too many of those. That seems, I'm guessing that's more or less a thing of the past. I've seen a few, or the scam artists, the people that are perpetually need $5 to get down the road, that kind of thing. So the worst thing is that they look for people in the cab that they can lock eyes on and pull their con. So if you're able to stop and put the curtains down, that negates that. So I'm thrilled with that. That to me is a huge game changer. All right, so where have I been? I know I'm going to forget some places. I left Springfield, went to Oklahoma to Kansas, I believe, Kansas to Amarillo, Amarillo to Newark. I'm going to do a separate video on Newark. That warranted it. From Newark to Milwaukee. And I had started having problems on that trip with the Freightliner. It was just not doing well in mountains, ups and downs, just really kind of struggling. And I had, at one point, I'd gone down a pretty rough mountain road, and it lit up like a Christmas tree. The dashboard had, I think, 6 alerts on it. Your ABS, traction control, whatever the one is about the truck trying to go uphill. There's a picture of a truck going uphill with a slash through it. Imagine it saying, "Don't do that." What else? I don't know. Like I said, and the check engine light was coming and going. But anyway, I struggled in the mountains once, and those lights came on, and soon after I was trying to find a place to stop, and I was at a stop sign, and then went to pull out, and the truck didn't cut off, but it acted like almost like it was in neutral. You would step on the gas and it would rev, but it would only move like inch, just enough for me to get out and over to the shoulder. Called RA, gave it a rest, turned it back on, all the alerts gone, moved on down the road, and not much issue there. Backing up a bit, I did have on the lot when I was at Springfield, an alert was happening every morning or so about my tire gauge or whatever, the electronic tire pressure system was not sending information. I had taken it into the shop to look at that while I was in Springfield. The guy said, these things, they sit on the lot for a little while, and this kind of sensor stuff happens. He said, I don't think you got an issue. And I think he cleared it, and he said, you probably won't see it again. Well, I do. I see it just about every day, at least once. I get this tire pressure thing. Now, Freightliner won't work on that. That's a separate system that's added to the truck after we get it. But since then, let's see, I went from Milwaukee per RA, road assist. They said you need to get it to a Freightliner. Hang on. No, that first time RA said, it's gone, play it by ear. You may want to get it to Manuka since you're heading that direction, either before or after your next load. So I went ahead and did my Milwaukee run, went to Manuka. I don't think they did much of anything. I'm kind of plagued by problems that, they're real. I hit issues, but they don't throw codes for some reason. I don't understand why you have all these alerts that come on the truck and there's no record in the computer of those alerts. But such is the case. I had taken pictures, at least. I'd shown the guy in Manuka, and he checked things out. He did notice an issue with I think a left information coming from my left driver's side drive tire, something in communication with the tire pressure. I think he cleared all the things, but he said, for the issues you're having, and I think I did mention the when you're going really slow, that was the first thing I noticed before all the mountain trouble, was that at idle speed or very close to it, forward and backwards, it was very jerky, which is not fun when you're trying to back a trailer. So he said those kind of issues, you're going to need to take it to Freightliner. So from there, everything was clear and everything was working. So we took a wait and see approach. From Manuka, where did I go? Trying to remember where I went from there. Pennsylvania. My nemesis, that southern Pennsylvania run. Bad for trucks, or at least bad for the trucks I've had. Anyway, it all happened again. It's long story short. Mountain road, chugging trouble uphill, feeling like it's not doing so well downhill, up and down. And it just, the last hill before my delivery, it almost didn't make it to the top. It started just jerking. The whole truck was shaking. Got to the top, pulled over, gave it a rest, called RA, and he said, you got to get it to a Freightliner. However, do what you did last time. You're 18 miles from your delivery. See if you can get there. If not, we'll get you towed out of there and we'll get you repowered. I was able to make it, but it was tough because I'm still on this mountain road. But I gave it a good 20 minutes to cool off, whatever, and get it to my appointment. From there, this particular receiver allowed me to leave bobtail, so I didn't have to worry about the trailer. And the truck runs great without a trailer. No alerts, no trouble whatsoever. Drives fine. So I had gotten RA to tell me what Freightliner to go to. They told me to go to it's a Sherwood Freightliner service place in Drums, but they weren't going to be open until Monday. So I spent a day and a half at a Petro, nice Petro, normal Petro. But Monday morning, today, went in first thing, 7 a.m. when they open, and they said they wouldn't be able to get me in until Wednesday or Thursday at the earliest. So call RA again, and this particular one said, I'm not sure why they routed you to that one. We usually in that area route to the Dunmore one, which is where I'm at now. Said we use them a lot more often, and it's right near the Pittston terminal. And anyway, he said, let me make a call and see if they can get you in sooner. Calls me back, said, yeah, they can get you in today. So drive, I don't know, it's 45 minutes or so to this Dunmore Sherwood Freightliner service repair shop. Check in, no problem there. But they're already alluding to the fact, I told her, all this stuff happened with the trailer, and I've driven bobtail quite a bit, and I'm not seeing anything. She's like, if it doesn't throw codes, it's probably not going to show up on their radar. So I'm bracing myself for another issue true issue, problem that I really need to get repaired, but the fact that if it doesn't throw a code, it's like they're flying blind. They can't get in there and tinker and figure it out, that kind of thing. So hopefully they'll figure something out. I know it did throw a code the other day because RA said that they weren't seeing all the lights that I was seeing, but they said yes, I think it was an emissions or something like that code. So we'll see. She said she didn't know, they'd take me in today, that she didn't know if I'd be done today. And she said, it's up to you. You can head to the terminal. There's a sleep in within walking distance. There's a Holiday Inn that they'll come and get you. So anyway, I just walked down the sleep in. I said, at the very least, this is going to take the better part of the day. I'd much rather spend it in a hotel room than a tiny little driver's lounge. The temperature was up pretty high today in there. They didn't have the AC roll. It just was not a comfortable place to spend the day. So I just bit the bullet. Figured at worst case scenario, I spend the night and get moving in the morning. So that's that. We'll see how it goes. Enjoy a hotel. Much rather be rolling. But what I was saying, I'm not overly upset about this. For one thing, going back to when RA said take a wait and see, like at Manuka said, they're not seeing anything. Everything seems to be cleared out. Take a wait and see approach. In my head, I know it's not going to go away. It's there. There is a problem. I've had it firsthand. So I would kind of rather nip it in the bud rather than be worried about it for the next, few thousand miles. I know it's coming. Eventually, the issue is going to come back and return. So I wasn't overly upset when it happened again. I kind of feel like I want to get it done. Covered for warranty, it's not going to be expensive other than time down. I won't be paying much of anything, if anything, for the service. Didn't pay anything at Manuka. And I didn't even have to pay for a tow. That's usually the big expense is tow and room. I will be paying for at least tonight hotel room, but there was no tow because I could drive the truck, bobtail. So all in all, not the worst thing. And if they can find it, even better. Nip it in the bud and get moving. But the other thing, and I guess the lesson here for anybody new to lease or new to prime or coming out to prime, whatever. This was not what I would call a breakdown because I could move, but I've had 2 solid breakdowns in my first year, and then this third trip to so overall 3 trips to a Freightliner dealership to get worked on. And I will say, I'm not overly upset about it. The first one, really upsetting. I was like, oh my God, this is going to end me. Because I hadn't gotten my accounts moving. I wasn't deep enough into the career where I could weather these things so easily. So on that one, and I needed 2 tows on that one. The Freightliner near me on that one was closed and did not have a lot for you to put your trailer. So I needed 1 tow to get me to off the road into a parking lot, and then another one to pick me up in the morning to take me to Freightliner. And that cost something like $1,800, $1,700, something like that for the 2 tows. Next time, little better. My accounts were starting to look a little better. Certainly not happy, a little nervous. I did have one tow. I think that was $700 as I recall. And I think the first time it was 5 nights in a hotel, didn't find anything. The second time, 3 nights in a hotel, and they were able to fix that one. So little nerve-wracking, but not as much as the first one. And this one, I'm in pretty good shape. My business account is in really good shape. This is not going to sink me. I would rather be moving. I don't like, not rolling and making money, but it is what it is. And if they can fix it, then I'm all the better for it, and won't have to stop later. But yeah, overall, this is the point and better that you want to get to. If people worry about lease, and I'll talk about that. I do have thoughts on some kind of a money video. As y'all know, I'm much more qualitative than quantitative. I don't see the point in looking at a lot of pay stubs and things like that. It doesn't tell you anything really. But qualitatively, this is the part where you want to start to get to when you get into lease. It's really, at prime anyway, it's really not difficult. You make plenty of money to cover your expenses. You just want to be building up that account to the point where you can have something like this happen and not be nervous. You got yourself covered. Now I need to keep building, and the next one will be even less anxiety provoking. But I would suggest if you're going into lease and you have the means. I did not. But if you have the means, I would start your account. If you can put 5,000, 7,000, even 10,000, whatever you can do, put that in your account day one. You start your career where I'm at here, where you can have a breakdown and a problem, and you don't have to really worry about it. You're covered as far as your account. So this is kind of the beginning step of the end goal that you want to get to with lease. You want to get to a point where there's a cap on your, you have some kind of a fill line in your business account so that nothing can derail you. You've got money to cover, any downtime, that kind of thing. So that's the lesson here. I don't consider this a negative video. Sure, I wish I was running, but all in all, it's kind of nice in a way to have this difficulty, and I don't have nerves about it. I really don't. Lease has been good to me, and it continues. The big picture continues to get better and better. So, like I said, the next time this happens, and it will happen, I'll be even in better shape. So, peace of mind is starting to settle in this job after a year. All right, I'm going to call it there, guys. Like I said, depending if I'm stuck in this hotel room for a day or two, you might see some extra videos from me, hopefully so. I definitely have the ideas for some. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.